Tranquilo, hombres. Por favor. Calm down.
Alright, Finn.
Anyway,
Number 9.
back again. Yeah, so we'll get on. We're doing our new things again, aren't we? We've got the old things, and we've got the Q&A, and we've got
Slang Wars.
and we've got the slang wars
Yeah.
again. It's my go. Looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
the Q&A, I'm kind of also hoping for like that it might spark maybe a few comments, because I think it's the kind of Q&A where anyone and everyone will disagree with whatever answer is given. So crack on.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
All right. Welcome to Room 101. So last week we talked about cheesy advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Went down memory lane, Castlemaine Forex and all that.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Jason.
Okay, this one, I'm a bit nervous about this one because I have a feeling that this could be one of the ones that I'll have a tough time putting in.
I'll fight my corner if need be.
But I'm coming with a fairly strong case. I'm fairly confident. But I feel I wouldn't be doing the world justice if I didn't try at least anyway. So what I'm attempting to put in this week is chain restaurants. So unfortunately, that I'm coming at it from two angles here. One from a kind of Chinese aspect and one from like just a general aspect. From a Chinese point of view, I'm coming to China now since about 1998. And I remember when I used to love going out for a meal in China before, because most of the restaurants, I'm talking about Chinese food now, were like, family owned, or, there was only one in the city. Yeah. If you wanted to go, there was just the one, and like they were amazing. They were all the food was awesome. The price was always fair. The quality was always good. They were always packed. It was, but now you have this thing where chain restaurants are taking off massively here. Like, so from a hot pot point of view, you have like Heidi Lau. And, you basically nearly every restaurant you go into now in China is one of these chain restaurants.
Is that true? Would you say that's true?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like you don't really know as much because they're not as like obvious. But if you go onto like one of the delivery apps or whatever, and you search a certain restaurant, you will find that there's like 10 of them or 15 of them in the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So basically, why I just think that the quality of them is terrible. Basically, like, okay, they might be cheap, and it isn't what it used to be. Like, I used to really look forward to going for a meal, like, and now it's rare that I find a Chinese restaurant that I'm going, yeah, I'd love to go back there. And I unfortunately it's the same with like the Western style ones, like, and one of your faves is in there, like McDonald's and that.
That was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, like my beef with it is like
your beef, nice.
Basically, back in the day when like I was a kid, McDonald's was like a treat, right? And the price was like, when I was a kid, it was kind of expensive to go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
No, going out in general in Ireland was a bit expensive, like, but now they're so cheap, and every time I know like the idea of like never having a Big Mac or whatever again. You're kind of going, you're insane, you're crazy, but like every time I get a McDonald's,
oh good, I don't need to say it.
No, but every time you get a McDonald's, or me anyway, personally. The first bite you're going, this is fucking amazing, and then halfway through you're just going, no, this is not amazing. Like I don't think it's good.
Yeah, see, I think I'm worried at the point my body's at now, because now I don't even feel bad the next day or anything. I'm just like,
yeah. Well, see, I have my argument. I thought you were going to go to me like, yeah, but blah blah blah. I love them. I think they're fucking fantastic.
I do.
I was going
to
turn around to you and go, yeah, but years of smoking and drinking has fucked your taste buds up. So no, but like you
maybe.
Like I'm not talking about killing all burger joints. I'm talking about the chains. And so one, which is a fairly small thing, is the quality of them. Then it's very clear from the likes of KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, all of these, they're corporate businesses. they don't really have a passion for food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have your well-being in mind. There's nobody can say that anything in McDonald's is healthy for you. There's nothing. No, I'm not on about, this is kind of like, obviously it's people's choices and whatever else, but I think it's got to the point where it's so bloody cheap that sometimes people, like, it's easier for somebody to go to McDonald's and get a meal than go and buy some fruit and vegetables and cook it themselves and make it themselves. Yeah. So basically...
But wouldn't you say, because I think one of the good things about chain restaurants, I do agree with you in theory, it's like taking away the sort of family independent side of restaurants and that kind of thing. And who wouldn't like to go to one of those? They are nice, And but it's good. It's just like when you're in a different, it's the consistency in it that. So when you go to another country, let's say you find yourself in like, I don't know,
China,
Hull,
yeah.
But when you go somewhere else and then you don't know what to do, at least you can, while you find your feet, you can.
Yeah, but is that not why we go to other places? Is to try
I'm talking
other
about
stuff.
like the first, second day.
I know. But you can always go to a supermarket and buy like a bit of mince and make your own burger. I mean, there's nowhere in the world where you can't get a bit of meat and a bit of veg. You know what I mean? Like, so.
I suppose. What if you're staying in a hotel?
Yeah.
I mean,
but then you can just go to a local. I know
these are all just little things.
Yeah.
Because I just love McDonald's. I can't believe.
You could always eat. You can also eat in the hotel. The lobby normally has a place or whatever.
I'll tell you this: if you gave me the choice between like a McDonald's burger and like a solid like £12 burger, like a sort of gastro pub or something, of course I'd go for the.
Okay, then no, I thought you were going to be like, but I have more reasons as well, which I think are more important to me. Like, obviously you have the health concerns as well. Like I just said, there's no way that any of that shit is good for you. Even in the cheap Chinese restaurants, where you're getting like 3 or 4 dishes for under 80 RMB, you have to wonder about what they're putting into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then for me, one of the bigger ones, and I'm not one of these hippie kind of guys, the environmental impact that these guys have must be huge as well, because
McDonald's, the way we eat beef now is because of McDonald's.
Exactly, right?
It doesn't matter, even if you don't eat at McDonald's, you eat beef that's made in the same way because of that restaurant.
Exactly, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but it
is wrong. That's wrong.
It is wrong, right? But also then the packaging, right? Like, there was a time when you went into McDonald's, if you sat in, they would only give you like basically the burger would be just maybe the paper. That's it.
Yeah.
But no, every time I get a McDonald's or a Burger King or whatever. There is so much fucking packaging involved with it.
That is definitely.
It's also the same with the Chinese. The Chinese now love a good packaging, right? So all these Chinese restaurants, these chain ones, when you get delivery to your house, they're all in these fancy fucking boxes within boxes within boxes, and little tubs of plastic tubs of the sauces and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit all needs to go somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's all going to landfills, right?
They should use more paper stuff.
But even paper stuff, like, you still, the energy it takes to make the paper and blah, blah, blah. Why can't we just eat it off a fucking plate? I know if you're taking it away, fair enough. But if you're eating it in the restaurant, like Starbucks and them are guilty of it as well. Like, you have to actually go now and specifically ask them in Starbucks for a normal cup if you're sitting in. They'll automatically give you the.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
Which is insane. What are you giving me a paper cup for, right? And a lot of people, but I want to take it away and blah blah blah. But like, look, we have to start thinking about all this shit has to go somewhere. Yeah. They're basically. I think the other one is obviously there's no small family restaurant can compete with the likes of McDonald's. Like, for example, the other day we went looking at cars and blah, 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 and I promised Danny that we'd give him an ice cream. But of course, when he walks in there, he sees the toys that you get with the Happy Meal. So he starts screaming for a Happy Meal, right? And the Happy Meal in China is like under 30 RMB. You're getting a burger, a drink, a salad, and a toy. Like, if a normal Joe Soap tried to compete with them, the toy alone would cost them 30 RMB.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So, like, and I know it's fair, they built themselves up and blah, 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 but they're now because they're also like a retail business, and it sounds like I'm picking up McDonald's, but I'm just using them as an example, basically. But I also have a feeling that the likes of these chain restaurants are the reason. This is pure speculation now by me, right? But is the reason why the price of like fruit and vegetables are higher is because people now have that option to go and buy this cheap dirt, basically. Whereas I reckon if they were all gone, more people would be going to the markets, so people would be buying more vegetables and eggs and meat and blah, blah, blah. And those would inevitably the price of them then would drop down again, because supply and demand, basically. Like.
Yeah, well, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I hadn't really noticed. I mean, you might be right. There might be more restaurants that they've got chains around. I mean, the ones you've mentioned, though, I'm like, I couldn't have them go. I love Heidi Lau. Heidi Lau's like a chain hot pot restaurant.
But it's great. But a local hot pot restaurant is 1,000 times better than it. No. Heidi Lau is shit as well, by the way.
No.
It's terrible. It's like...
Absolutely it isn't.
They're total overkill with the service, so they're basically trying to make everybody happy when they go in there. So they're like...
Well, that's
they're shoving bibs down your fucking thing when you're... After telling them 7 times I don't need a bib. They're putting your mobile phone into a plastic Ziploc bag. They're fucking...
All of these things are good.
They're not good. They're fucking pointless.
This has nothing to do with the quality of the food, though.
I don't think it's great, to be honest with you. Compared to a fucking, like a small mom and pop good hot pot restaurant, it's shit. I'll take you to some of my local ones. You'll never go to Heidi Lau again.
I'll also go to... Of course, I'll go to a small hot pot restaurant. However... All right, well, I'll tell you what. It might be nice if... The good thing about Heidi Lau is it's open all night. It's open all day, all night. That's good.
Yeah. Well, we can live without that too, I think.
But wouldn't it be... It might be a good idea if you could just have the fast food chain restaurants open after midnight, because that's when you want them. And no independent shop wants to be...
No, that's true.
Wants to be open. And then when you're drunk and you need a burger, you can still get one, but maybe other people would have a chance. Because you wouldn't have, like, lunchtime, dinner, breakfast. They wouldn't have to compete with them all day.
I think I could compromise with that, yeah.
Because I can't put McDonald's into a room. I'm not putting McDonald's in a room where I want. However, I will put McDonald's pre-midnight into room when I want.
Because you hate the breakfast anyway.
I'll never use it before midnight. I don't think I've ever been in there.
You probably haven't been in a McDonald's in years. You just get it ordered to the house.
Oh, so. I haven't.
Because that was the one thing that was stopping me is that, yes, you're right. There's no mom and pop shop is willing to stay open 24 hours a day. And I do.
They can pick up the slack.
And I do think that the world needs 24 hours a day because there's lots of people on night shift or like the likes of me and you that do 2 shifts, one during the day and one at night in the pub. You know what I mean? So, no, I think I can compromise with that. Yeah. So, I'm surprised. I thought that would be an instant like not. No.
Well, I am saying no, but I will. I don't mind.
You're compromising.
I don't care about McDonald's at lunchtime. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist at lunchtime because I don't.
Or else I could also accept that they can't like, because I reckon they're losing money on the likes of the Happy Meal and stuff like that to draw customers in.
Well, they draw the children in.
Yeah,
if the children wants to go in there, then the whole family is in there.
Yeah, exactly, right. And they know like the dad is definitely going to fucking end up with an Angus burger or something like that. So like, maybe not allow them to fucking serve toys or something like that. So.
Well, that's a big thing, isn't it? Like. I do agree with that you shouldn't be able to like direct advertising at children because parents have had enough job as it is. And like, you're not playing with an even hand, are you? Because
literally what would have happened the other day was we walk in, we buy the ice cream, we walk out again. What ended up happening was we bought we ended up having to buy the ice cream anyway afterwards, but he seen the Happy Meal and he wouldn't shut up about the Happy Meal. And because they're so bloody cheap.
They know that.
And they're so cheap nowadays as well that you can't refuse them, right? Because you're like, what are you refusing it on? And then, okay, maybe health, but we don't give it to them all the time. And then also, then I just go, oh, sure, I'm sitting down, I might as well fucking grab a burger as well. Do you know what I mean?
Like, that's the thing. It's like, again, I'm not a parent, but you take your kid into McDonald's to get an ice cream in inverted commas.
Yeah.
You know that's not happening.
No, it's not. Well, in my original plan
is going to be like, come on, let's just get the ice creams and get the
because you always forget, right? You walk in there, but then of course there's fucking signs for the Happy Meal. There's pictures of what toy, like, and he loves Avengers. Now it's all Avengers toys, so automatically, how can you refuse a kid, especially when it's only 30 RMB?
Yeah.
So
All right. Well. Yeah, we'll do that.
So we're
Whatever
putting it
we
in a
decide.
compromised way between
Daylight hours. Yeah.
daylight hours. Okay, fair enough.
All right. Done.
Okay, so on to snacks unknown.
Yeah, my turn this week.
Yep.
Loved the eggs last week.
Yeah,
loved them.
Well surprised.
Loved them. It's dessert week
Cool.
this week for
Cool.
me. As I said, one thing I have had in my freezer for quite a while, but I should imagine it'd be all right. Right?
I guess it's deep freeze, right?
Frozen, isn't it? So, but probably one of the stranger things I've seen. I'll just get it out.
Okay.
Here
Is it a corn on the cob?
It is. Yeah, it's corn on the cob lolly.
Oh, it's an ice cream.
Or I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's just like but it's in the freezer section. It just looks like a corn on the cob. In fact, I'm just feeling the.
If it's a
Oh, no,
frozen,
there is a stick. There is a stick.
Oh, okay.
There is a stick. But yeah, it's a corn on the cob lolly, I guess.
Interesting.
So now these I've seen them for ages. Ever since I got here, I've seen these things.
I'll be honest with you. You showed me this before, but I've never tried it, and I never actually even seen it. In the shop.
I've never seen it or tried it. Oh, you've never seen it in the shop?
I never even seen it in the shop, but I don't be looking in the fridges, to be honest.
I've seen it in the shop, but I've never seen it open.
Because I'm not a huge ice cream man myself now, but...
Well, that's like I said, like I think I've said before, like you go into a shop and if there's a Magnum in there,
yeah, it's just straight up Magnum, like
so
nose.
Have a little smell. You probably guess what it smells like. It smells like sweet corn.
It smells like popcorn.
Yeah,
it actually smells quite good.
It smells like sweet corn to me.
I like a bit of sweet corn now, to be honest.
I don't.
Oh, you don't, do you?
Not really. No. Don't get it. It's just weird. It comes out the other end. What's the point? And.
Oh Jesus! It's even shaped like a sweet.
Oh right,
corn.
so it's not actually a.
No.
I honestly thought it might just be like a frozen corn on the cob, but it's just kind of shaped like that with little what are those
Is
things?
that like
called?
a wafer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wafer on the outside.
So it's like a wafer with what do you call those things? I want to say niblets because that's what
Kernels.
that's what the Jolly Green Giant used to call them, niblets.
Kernels, I think.
All right. So I've no idea what's inside it. Do you want to go first?
You belt away. I'll go second.
I'll try first. Yeah, it's like a wafer. Yeah.
You'll see the picture anyway.
All right. Oh no, it's just ice cream inside.
It's just shaped like a corn.
No, it doesn't taste like ice cream. Does it taste like corn to you?
No.
It just tastes like an ice cream with a fucking wafer right around the side
Yeah,
of it.
that's basically what it is. It's actually quite nice.
It's just like an inside-out ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
There's no corn in there.
But you can smell it
False
though.
advertising. Yeah, that's what I thought. But now I think.
But corn's a bit bland anyway, right? There's not. But it doesn't like taste. It smells like sweet corn, but it doesn't taste.
Sometimes these things have a surprise down the bottom.
Yeah.
Don't they? I've noticed that. You want another bit?
Have another bit. You like it?
Once you've done
No,
that,
see, it's
once
all-
you've done that, I'm going to dissect it because I think there might be a surprise. Sometimes they have like a little. I've had lollies here where they have like just a little section in the middle of something different. I don't particularly want to eat it all. Have you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm going to rip it apart. I just want to know if it's as it seems.
You'll be disappointed if there's nothing in there, won't you?
A little bit. It's more normal than I thought. No, it just seems to be ice cream
Yeah.
with a wafer wrapped around it. How disappointing.
Not from a taste point of view, it tastes fine, to be honest, but disappointing that it's not weird enough.
I really thought that was going to have sweet corn in it.
I'd buy one of them, like, if I went into the shop and they had nothing else, I would buy it, like, definitely.
All right, well...
if I wanted an ice cream, then.
all right, well, that's that done. I'm not going to eat the rest of it, are you?
No, I'm alright, I'm good.
The next one, I kind of got... this might also be completely normal as well. It might just be the packaging, again, that's fooled me.
Okay.
But I was kind of... I saw it, and it reminds me of what you gave us last week.
The eggs.
The crisps.
Oh, right, okay.
The flour-flavoured crisps. And I haven't seen this... It's a very well-known brand, but I haven't seen this packaging before. Have you seen these?
You're going to be super disappointed. Danny literally walked in with these tonight, right?
Serious?
So
They must be new. They're new out.
It's a packet of M&Ms, right? And they're
It
claiming...
seems like that sort of flour flavour.
But they're claiming to be all pink. They're basically...
Is that the only difference? They're just pink.
Open them up, you'll see. It's even more disappointing than that.
I thought it was like going to be sort of flour infused chocolate.
No, I didn't taste them, but
Oh.
I was expecting to open them and it'd be nothing but pink M&Ms.
Well, yeah, I saw they look pink there, but he's got a little flower on his head, which he doesn't normally have.
Yeah.
So,
but open them, you're going to get the shock of your life. Well,
they're all just normal M&Ms.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
There's not even pink ones in there, is there?
No.
Just take a picture of the inside.
And they're just M&Ms. I think they're just M&Ms.
That's false advertising if I ever seen it.
Is there some kind of special day coming out or something like?
I don't know. He was super excited. I love me an M&M.
I like an M&M.
Do you know what M&M stands for?
No.
No, I can't even remember. But basically, it was the guy from Hershey and the guy from Mars Bar. So I can't remember who the Hershey's guy's second name was, like Morrison or something.
Oh, right.
So it was Mars and Morrison. They combined to make these years ago. But Danny, I could see that Danny came in all excited. He's like, "Oh look, pink M&Ms!" Opened them and he was like, "Oh, they must have made a mistake." But no,
yeah, but they are. There is a pit. They're all pink on the side. They're just M&Ms, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's bloody snacks on no. M&Ms and ice cream today. Dessert.
At least we have something to chew on for the rest of the podcast. Yeah,
well, at least, yeah, that's true.
Well, obviously. Peanut or normal ones, though. Which is your favourite?
I'd probably go for normal ones. Although I do like peanut ones.
I do like the peanut ones. No, but the reason I thought it was going to be pink as well when Danny brought them was you can get it's either Dove or Kit Kat here. They made a spicy one.
Oh, did they?
It was the worst thing I ever tasted. No, these fancy chocolate shops have started to put chili into their chocolate. Yeah. It's gash. It's fucking terrible. Just keep chili for savoury food. It doesn't belong in chocolate. I'm sorry to say.
Keep it for hot pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, our snacks are known. At least we know that they're just M&Ms.
Yeah.
And that's just ice cream. So that's it.
We just had two random fucking products.
I'm sure everyone in the West will be thrilled. Wow, they've got chocolate and bloody ice cream over there in China. All right. Snacks unknown.
All right, so we're on to Q&A, and this week it's Finn's turn to ask the question.
Yeah, it's kind of like an age-old question, really. Like I said before, I hoped that maybe this Q&A might spark a few comments, because I'm sure people listening would be like, "What the fuck? I think you've forgotten this, blah blah blah." So I hope that. So if you do disagree, let's hear it. But the question was for Jason today that me and Jason are going to be marooned on a desert island, classic conditional question scenario, and we're only allowed to take 10 albums
with us
between us, and we get to take turns to put an album into the mix, and you can't basically it's just that's the choice. There's a couple of little rules. Obviously we're only allowed 10, so we've got albums ready, and you're going to give one and I'll give one. The only rules are, while we're going, if I, for instance, said an album that you've got on your list, that means obviously you don't have to choose that one, and you get to put another one in. You get like an extra trick, obviously. And actually, that's an obvious rule, isn't it? Now I think about it, it's been ages to think about it.
Yeah, no, but we could have also went if there's a double, tough titties.
Yeah,
right?
No. If there's a double, you get to choose. Yeah,
and there's one veto as well, right? So
once we get to the end, once we've got the 10 albums done and dusted, then you get a chance to swap one out.
If you want, you don't have to.
You can swap one of mine out and put another of your backups in, and I can do the same thing. Okay. So that's it, basically. That's
okay.
It. So yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I want to try something. I want you to, because I think most of our albums, I think it'll be quite different. That's what I think. Once I thought about it more and more, I thought, I bet there's loads of differences. Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I have a substitute for two that I think is possibly, but probably not.
Well, listen, I wanted to try this thing. I know we said we'd go one by one, but after 3, I want you to say the album that you think I've definitely put in. And it's the one that I think we both have put in.
Yeah. Well, that's going to come up now with my first one, to be honest with you, because
then it counts as it's let's say it's yours.
No, but I've actually switched my one
because you thought I'd
preemptively thinking that you're gonna.
Okay,
just leave it. I say go with the flow and see what happens.
Okay,
right?
cool. All right, you go.
So basically, my music taste is I like all types of music, so I try to get a balance.
That's kind of what I tried.
My 5 albums, so they're not all one genre basically.
Now I will say one thing before we start this. I know for a fact that there's I think mine is weak in sort of like classic rock albums.
Yeah.
Because I do like rock, but I'm not going to mention any names, but of course I do like rock music and classic rock music and that kind of stuff. But I'm just not very good with the albums. I know the songs I like, so I just didn't bother putting any in. All I've done is chosen albums where either I listen to them more than once a month, or I know all the words.
Yeah. My choices, my 5, or I have like 7 or 8, but we're only going to do 5, so I have a few subs. All of mine are similar to yours, that I can pull this out and listen to it anytime, and I love pretty much every song on the album.
That was my.
And I never get sick of it. I might have to stop listening to it for a year or something, but then I can pull it out a year later and go, "This is fucking amazing."
That was my only other thing, was that every album, as far as I'm concerned, there's no skip tune.
Yeah,
there's no tune I'd skip on any of these albums.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like you said, I'm sure if I had gotten more choices, it would have been totally different or whatever else. But these are the 5 that I would bring, and that I know that I'd enjoy, and that,
and to be honest,
wouldn't get sick of.
Even looking at it now, I know that like in a few days I'd be like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that one. I just went through it quick. The first ones that came into my head, bang, 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 and I put them down. So, all right, go on, let's start. Go.
Right, so my first one is a hip hop album.
I knew it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to leave this one. I thought, go on.
No, I changed it at the last minute, preempting that I think that I know what you're going to put in for hip hop.
Right. So
I've changed it to Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
Okay.
Basically.
All right. I didn't have that.
Okay. I know you didn't, but what I'm saying is I think your hip hop album is the one that I would have chosen.
Okay, yeah.
So
you tried to get another one instead.
Yeah, you don't have to do the hip hop one now if you don't want to, but
that Ready to Die, yeah, I remember. All right, I'll give you that. I don't think that would have come up in my head because I remember it, and I know it's good. But yeah, okay, fine.
There's only 2 hip hop albums in the world really that I can pull out after. Like, I don't like the modern stuff. I'll come out straight out and say it. But there's only 2. There's this one and hopefully the one that I think that you're.
Well, I think I'm about to say that one. My first one is Doggy Style.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the first thing.
I'm glad I made that.
That was the first thing on my list.
It was mine too. Timeless album, great album.
All right, so we've got 2 hip hop albums now. Yeah. To be fair, now I might change some of my choices. Now we've got 2 hip hop albums, but right, go on.
So then I went in, I like a bit of 80s as well. So I don't have a substitute for this, but I'm pretty certain you won't have it. It's the Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
I thought you might bring a Smiths album up, and I'm kind of glad you did, because that's a group that I like, but if you asked me to name albums, I wouldn't know.
Well, basically, because one rule we didn't mention is it couldn't be like the best of.
Yeah.
So I went through all the Smiths albums, and this album had the most songs that I liked, basically. So that's why I took it. All
right. My next one is, I don't even know if you will appreciate this. My next one is Graceland, Paul Simon.
Okay, I never really got into Paul Simon, but I don't mind him either. To be honest with
you, there's a lot of. I mean, I quite like Simon and Garfunkel, but this, it's like again, I can sing every tune.
Yeah,
that was one thing. I wouldn't skip any tune on it, and it reminds me of like going to school in the car and stuff. So you know what I mean. So and the whole family sings along to this. So,
okay.
So I'd have to have that in there. Graceland by Paul Simon. Next.
So then I went for a bit of electronica or whatever you want to not techno.
Yeah, I got a couple of them ones.
One that I just think is an absolute classic and reminds me of my youth, the Prodigy music from Jilted Generation.
Oh, nice, because I didn't put that in, but I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Because I was trying to decide between the Prodigy Experience and Jilted Generation.
Jilted Generation. Experience is good.
I'd agree with you.
But it's a bit dated, isn't it? It's a bit like...
I think the Jilted Generation, has got a bit more, like... It's got a bit more length. Not length, but like I can appreciate it more.
But I remember... me and Angel got into the car one day, and Angel has it on her iPod in the car, and there was a young fella in the back, and he was like, "Wow, this is fucking amazing!" Like because
they were a bit more polished then, weren't they?
Yeah, but the
I do love the Prodigy experience.
The experience one is awesome, but it's very of that time.
Yeah,
and I don't think young people would get it. But the Jilted Generation is timeless. That will last forever. Like,
well, it's funny because do you remember I was getting you to listen to, and I nearly put it in, but then I realised I couldn't. But I found the best of Alternate.
Okay. Yeah.
Now that's kind of like that, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But it was a best of, and I wasn't even sure what albums were which, so I had to just kick it to the curb. Anyway, the next one, Blood Sugar Sex Magic by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay. Yeah. I can take that. I like
I'd have to have that. It's
Yeah.
a brilliant album.
It's a good album. Good album.
This is the 7th. It goes so quickly. This Desert Island, we're going to fucking be tearing each other's hair out after listening to these.
They're good. So far, all happy with all the decisions.
Yeah, they are good. The only one I'm not too familiar with is that Smith's album, but I know I do like the Smith. Wait and see.
You don't have to be though either, like. But
that's true. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, go on then.
My next one, I couldn't not put this band in. They were basically my youth, so it's Nirvana, but Nirvana Unplugged. I think it's one of the best albums ever.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I had a Nirvana album, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
But it is brilliant.
Yeah.
It is fucking
I just think, because I love Nirvana, but like, what's their first? You have Bleach. Never mind there. But I don't like every track on those albums, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, like Hero and the other, the Heart Shape Box or something, isn't it? I can't remember, but Unplugged. I can listen to Unplugged.
In Utero was Heart Shape Box.
Yeah. Unplugged, I can listen to every song 1,000 times and I still love them.
No, you can. It's good. Yeah. I love those ones by the Meat Puppets as well.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, the first Rage Against the Machine album.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'd have that.
Didn't even think of that.
I'd have that. I love that so much.
Very good.
And there literally is no bad tune on that album.
No.
There isn't a bad tune on it.
So this one just hit me because I remember this is one of at one stage I think I only had one CD or something, and it was this one, and I actually started listening to it again. It's fucking amazing. I've seen these guys live. It was a free concert in Cork City as well.
Is it Irish music?
No. Ocean I know that would have been vetoed straight away.
If you're about to say what I think you said, I might. Go on.
Ocean Colour Scene. Mosley Shoals.
Is that the one that has the one off Lockstock in it?
Yeah.
Need a girl.
Yeah, Riverboat song, yeah.
Good tune.
But that's shit compared to the rest of them, to be honest with you. Every tune
the day we caught the train.
Yeah, that's on it as well, yeah. Every fucking tune on that is amazing. Like.
Fair enough. Although, I have to say, I'm not like... Yeah, that's not an album I've spent much time listening to.
Yeah, yeah.
But so it's my last one.
Your last one.
Oh man, I can't believe I've got to choose one from all these ones that are left. I've also got a Michael Jackson album on here.
Feed up.
I won't even bother putting that in there. I was going to put Off the Wall in. I love it. Okay, I'm going to put Original Pirate Material by the Streets.
Oh, classic. Because I actually have a Streets album in there. It's not that one, but...
Is it A Grand Don't Come For Free?
Yeah, I had one in there just if you...
I think this slightly edges that. A Grand Don't
yeah. To be honest with you, both of them are great. I like both of them, so yeah.
But I honestly do just thoroughly enjoy listening to that album.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's a good album.
So what have we got so far? Let's run through them. We've got...
Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
We've got Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style.
The Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
Graceland, Paul Simon.
The Prodigy, Music for the Jilted Generation.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Chili Peppers.
Nirvana Unplugged.
Original Pirate Material by the Streets.
You should have one more. Because I have Ocean Colour Scene mostly.
And Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine, yeah.
Okay, well that's it. That's the 10.
Mm.
It's not bad. To be honest, there's no Rolling Stones or Beatles.
I love, like I said, this is not a comprehensive list of my music, but if
I was hoping you might sweep that up a bit, mop that up, that Beatles.
Yeah, like there's like Rory Gallagher.
Black Sabbath. I was thinking the Black Sabbath album.
I don't think I'm not a huge fan of them, to be honest. Metallica was one that I played with, like that one album, and also the S&M one. But I was like,
I'd have vetoed that.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you would, and also again, they're very mood-specific albums. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
all right, well, go ahead. Do you want? I won't be offended in any way. I will not.
I'm not vetoing, basically. Unless you're vetoing, then I'll veto, basically. But
I'm going to veto one. Let's make it fun. I will veto one. I think I know which one you're going to veto. Shall I veto? You veto. I'm going to veto. Veto.
Then I veto the Paul Simon one.
I knew you were going to veto that. That's fine. I'll go. What are you going to put into place of it? I can't change it now. Now you have to.
Oh, I have to put.
You have to replace it. That's the point. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Can you veto the one I put in? Because I don't think you like it. You might.
No, I can't. This is it now. This is it.
Coldplay, Parachutes.
Oh, fucking hell. You're fucking killing me, mate.
That's a good album.
You're taking out Paul Simon for Coldplay. Yeah. I'll be on the other side of the fucking island.
The first album is
It's
great.
going to be like Lord of the fucking Flies.
You should have left it alone then.
I fucking should have left it alone. Oh, mate, you've killed me there. I'm reeling. Okay, so I fucking hate Coldplay.
Do you? Even the first one?
I just don't like them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, then I'm going to veto... Oh, fuck. Okay,
I reckon you can veto that if you want. Why not, like?
Okay, if we're going away on a desert island, I'm going to veto that.
Okay.
I'm going to veto that, definitely.
So I saved my Ocean Colour Scene because that's...
Because I was going to veto Ocean Colour Scene, but compared to that, I'll lap Ocean Colour Scene.
Okay.
All right, I'm definitely going to veto what you just said, and I'm going to... But that's a bit unfair. All right, but I'm going to veto that. I'm going to...
You're like a child.
I'm going to veto that, and I'm going to put in the Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem.
Okay.
The second album.
Okay.
I'll put that in. I was thinking of putting Black Sunday in by Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Which one would you have preferred? Which one would you have preferred? I'll just give you those two choices.
Cypress Hill, I would have preferred.
Fuck it. Let's do Cypress Hill then.
Yeah.
Let's do Cypress Hill. So what's should we do the final rundown?
Notorious B.I.G.
Doggy Style.
The Smiths.
Yeah.
The Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
The Prodigy, Music for Jilted Generation.
Rage Against the Machine.
Nirvana, Unplugged.
Cypress Hill, Black Sunday.
And I got to keep Ocean Colour Scene, didn't I?
Yeah. And then we also had Original Part Material by the Street.
Excellent. I think they're good choices.
Let's get on that boat.
Yeah. I'm happy to go with that.
Anyway, so if anyone has any I know everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? How could you have no
I don't
blah,
think
blah,
so.
blah. So let's just hear what you think. I'd love to hear some comments about what albums you take, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Nice one, mate. Cheers.
Slang War. Slang War.
Slang War.
Slang Wars.
It's my new favourite section. Slang Wars.
Slang Wars.
Now I'm going to start off with a bit of controversy straight away. So we're 4 to 1.5. However, I want to make an appeal on my half.
What?
And the appeal is based on that.
I said I'd give you that last time. Go on.
Did you?
I think I said I'd.
No, I did. You didn't. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Last.
Excuse me? You heard it. Hey, need diaper changing.
I would like the court to hear Exhibit A taken from episode 7.
I'm going to make a piece for work tomorrow.
Lunch?
Oh, you're fucking pretty close, mate, to be honest.
Okay.
It says this is a traditional word used in Scotland for a sandwich.
Oh, then I think I should get the point for that. Like,
you think?
At least 1 point, like.
Half a point?
Well, what's he going to do with it? He's hardly going to fucking...
I know, but lunch could be bloody... I think because I said I'm going to make a piece, I'll give you half a point.
I rest my case, Your Honour.
You can reject it if you want.
Use either one, whatever. Well,
I think let's do halves.
What I said last week was that we could make what I did last week round 1 because you hadn't quite got into the swing.
I'm okay with you being, but I just think like
okay, fine.
I think if you're in the general ballpark, like I mean, police car, lunch, sandwich is kind of.
Well, I tell you this, I'd rather take off my half a point because I don't think you should have half a point for saying lunch when it was sandwich, but I will take off my half a point. All right, doesn't make any difference to you.
It does because I edited it down already, so I have to go back and redo the whole thing.
All right, fine. Whatever makes
Just
it
for
easier.
this time, just give me the point, and
Yeah,
then from now on,
either way,
we will
you get
say
half
that.
a point. You gain half a point on me either way.
Yeah, it's the same,
Yeah.
same, but different. Yeah.
So
No, I.
So what's the score then?
It's now 4-2 basically. So
To me.
yeah.
Just to make that clear. All right, go on then.
Yeah.
What have we got? The Democratic Republic of Congo slang.
I've stuck with Cork because I didn't do well on the last Cork
You
one.
went back to Cork?
I went back to Cork.
It's like a bloody different language. Go on then.
Round 1.
So we'll start off. The first one is the Merries.
As in Merries.
Yes.
The Merries. You're drunk.
No. So anyone heading
That
down.
was too obvious. What was I thinking? Right, let's have a sentence.
Anyone heading down to the Merries later on.
The pub.
No.
Fuck.
It's basically a fairground.
Let's go back.
Fairground or like an amusement park. Where
Of course, the
the merry-go-rounds, yeah. Yes. 0 point.
How often do you spend going down to fucking
We used to have
fairgrounds
them.
in Cork?
They used to come every summer in Cork City.
To be fair,
down by the river.
To be fair, we used to have a fairground that came every summer.
Every summer. What was it called again? Perks or something. Yeah, and it was shit. Like it was terrible, but it was like because you had nothing else to go to, you just went to it. Like so.
I just used to love them 10p machines that slide. Yeah, the slidey ones. I
Yeah.
used to think this is when you saw them like sticking out like 4 inches. You'd be like, this is too easy.
Yeah.
And then they always fucked you.
Although I will say I won a fortune on them. I was in Great Yarmouth in England. My uncle used to live there, and I was walking past one of the machines, and like a pound coin like literally fell out and into the thing. So I picked it up, and like
When you said you walked past it, did you? Like,
no, I swear I
shoulder
didn't. I swear to God I didn't. Right, I walked past it, heard the thing clink, just went, oh great, and like I was only I must have only been like 8 or something.
You were playing a sliding
No, I
machine.
wasn't.
With there was a sliding machine with pound coins.
Pound coins, right?
I've never even seen that. There was only 2p's or 10p's where I was.
And like this is back in.
Oh, I would have been bang on
This
that.
must have been 80s, like late 80s. I was only fucking 8 or 9 or 10 at the most, right? So like normally like a quid to a kid is like a lot, but I was like, fuck it. I threw it in and fucking out popped 5, right?
Jesus.
I went back to my mum with the biggest fucking ice cream you could ever see in your life. She's like, where did you get that? She got all worried. She thought like a pedo was after buying it from me or something.
Well, to be honest, I'm still reeling from the fact that you had sliding machines with bloody pound coins.
And then not only that, then me and my brother.
Where was this? Buckingham Palace?
Fucking Great Yarmouth, mate. Fucking the Las Vegas.
I only ever saw 10p's and 2p's. That was it. And
quids. I couldn't believe it myself.
Even I was like, I'm not doing the 2p's.
And I reckon I even got. I can remember definitely because I went up and paid for the ice cream, and the ice cream was. It was so big, like it was like 2 or 3 quid, and back then that was like basically spending 20
you still
quid.
came out on top.
Yeah, and then me and my brother walked down to the what do they call them, the claw machines, and there was in 2 of them there was a mouse in one and a mouse, the same mouse in another one, just in the machine. Like it was great. We scored big time that weekend.
Sounds like Dream World. But
fantastic.
Anyway, go on then. I'm already annoyed that I never saw a pound coin sliding machine. But go on. All right.
Round 2.
So the next one is Bazar.
Bazzer.
Yes.
Is it like a scally?
No. So that old doll, and you know what old doll is, right?
I do.
It's girl for any. That old doll gave the fiend or the boy
I know that as well.
a bazar.
Blowjob.
No, it's a haircut. In Cork City, a bazar is a haircut.
Fucking really. You tried to fool me then. You tried to fool me then.
This is where I said.
Taking that half point back.
Hold on a minute. You're calling me a fucking arsehole?
I am.
That's why I got that in before I said I'd give these ones.
That's bloody sneaky, that is. Go on then.
Round 3.
And the final one is Eka.
My first thought is like some kind of drug, but I'm not sure if I want to say that yet. I guess I've got to have a guess, haven't I? I've got no idea. I guess I will guess it's an ecstasy pill.
No. And I'll be a bit generous. I was going to make the sentence harder, but seeing as we're on...
After he got a bazzer.
No. Sir, you said we had no Eka tonight.
Homework.
Yeah. As if an exercise. We used, for some reason in Ireland we say...
That is mad. Pound coin sliding machines. Fucking foreign languages.
Oh, I needed that. I was...
Oh, fuck!
I needed it.
I can't clean anything. I'm a failure.
I needed it. So basically, you got 1 point. So
I'm having these M&Ms. You're not allowed. You're not allowed any M&Ms.
So it's
anymore.
5-2. It's 5-2. I still have a lot to do. Like, I mean, if you come at me just as hard as that next week, I'm still well behind.
Oh,
like,
mate, you've just signed your own death warrant.
But we knew this was going to happen. Like, we knew that. The only thing I can see in Finn's face is like,
I've got a couple of friends from Sierra Leone. I'm getting on a bloody blower this week. That's all I'm saying.
Finn's just like, we should have done it where I get a goal as well, because he won't be able to wait a week now. He's going to come at me like a spider monkey next week.
Let's record it now.
But I had to, like, what was I supposed to? Like, because in fairness, like,
no, it's fair play.
I wasn't prepared the first one, so I gave you like piss easy questions or
to be honest,
sentences.
you were pretty nice with me, like with the sentence.
Because to be honest with you, the way I had the Eka one, it was like, sir, you said we had no Eka. Whereas I went, sir, we had no Eka tonight.
You actually
like,
used to say that to your teacher?
Yeah.
What would your teacher go, right, books open, we're writing down the Eka?
He wouldn't, but you would as a lad, like. Right. Your mother would be like, did you do your Eka last night? Did you do your Eka? Yeah.
Okay, all right. You
different
lunatics.
Different planet.
Right, okay, Slang Wars, 5-2 to me.
I redeemed Cork City, baby.
You got it, yeah, you got it. So it's Jason's bit, really, trying to get me into TikTok. This has taken on a bit of a new meaning for me, because I was telling you I watched this. I've started to learn a little bit about this strange young man in America called Takeshi 6ix9ine.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it's all about. He built up this whole thing on like TikTok videos and this kind of shit, you know. I'd never even heard of him before, but I just started to watch a documentary about him, and I'm avidly or eagerly waiting for the next episode. But it made me think that like my initial opinion of TikTok was correct. It's just
drivel,
and it's like just sort of ripping away at the seams of fucking society.
It is,
you know
like,
what I mean? However, if you've got one of Sergey, I'm involved.
Let's see.
I forgot to tell you as well that I found a few entries for the Alternative Olympics this week. I forgot to mention when I was watching some YouTube videos.
I've got bags of them. I got bags. Actually, we're going to start off with one. But
okay, good. I saw a brilliant one where it was. It looked like it's like a game of dodgeball, but it's called like it's Japanese and it's called like pajama. It's called a pillow fight. They all wear pajamas and they all start off lying under blankets. And then it's like chess. You have to protect. You have to throw pillows at each other like dodgeball, but you have to use your duvets to protect the king. There's a king. It was amazing. It was perfect for the Alternative Olympics, mate. It really was. But anyway,
the Japanese have some fantastic games.
They're so imaginative.
They're so brilliant. Sports, like, did you ever see the one where there was like some game show, but they sent people out with a target on their chest, out into basically like the jungle, and you basically it was like mosquito bites. So whoever got the mosquito bite on the bullseye won. And another
That's
one was
so open to corruption.
Two girls with a clear piece of pipe, and there was a cockroach in the middle, and they have to like blow it at each other, and the cockroach basically ends up in one of their mouths. Like, so my first one is a submission into the Alternative Olympics.
This looks interesting.
Why do we have to run on land when you can run underwater?
Do this. Is that what they were doing? Racing?
But you could turn it into a race, like. I mean, and how hard would that be, like?
Well, you won't be able to breathe.
Yeah, but that's the good thing about it, like. I mean,
so you just have to keep moving until you're the last person to come up.
Yeah. Usain Bolt can't fucking run away with that one. Like, he'd have to literally...
Yeah, true, yeah. It does. Yeah. It levels the playing field a little bit.
It does level the playing field. Like, you just have to be...
Imagine if you had, like, a free diver, he'd just nail it.
Probably would.
But I can't... Well, and I mean, if we were going to have the first ones in Tianjin, I don't know where you'd do that.
Swimming pool. Just use a swimming pool.
Yeah, especially... all right, seemed pretty good, yeah.
So the next one, it's the first one in a long time where I laughed out loud, and it's not because basically what happened, you think it's the first bit that goes on, but it's actually, you have to kind of pay attention to this. It's what happens in the background afterwards.
Salam alaikum,
So he's a bit pissed off because he got clipped.
Alaikum assalam. Salam alaikum.
He thought he had it bad, didn't he?
When I watched, because the first time I watched it, I was like,
why always me? And he didn't look behind him. His mate getting knocked the fuck out.
The first lad is well pissed off, but the first lad only got clipped, right? The second lad got blew the fuck out of it. Like, so.
It was a good tune to go with it as well. I liked it. Yeah.
And the good news is, it looks like our mate he is alive.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
But he's looking a bit worse for wear, to be honest with you.
Так, помогаем весне.
I reckon he washed up on the shore somewhere. He's having a bit of snow.
It's a bit colder than normal, isn't he?
He looks angry as well. That's it, basically. But at least we know he's alive.
It's -10. Yeah, but I'm very glad he's alive, yeah.
My vision of that when I seen him was like he basically sunk the last time in the Titanic, and now he washed up somewhere. He's covered in snow. He had to have a little bite to eat, so he had a bit of snow.
Now he's trying to find his missus to wreak revenge.
Why did you give me toilet paper and a box of coffee?
I'd say he seems to have been a bit affected because it wasn't quite as imaginative. There was no ice cream.
No, that's why he definitely is a bit shook, like so. Yeah. But at least he's alive, and let's see what he comes up with the next time.
Like I said, he looks a lot colder in that one than he did normally.
Yeah, he looks shook, like he looks like he just woke up, basically. Yeah.
I wonder how many of these he does every week. He goes out every week doing these things.
He was missing. He was missing for a while there, though. So I reckon
frostbite.
Yeah,
no doubt. Maybe they ran out of ice creams. Maybe it wasn't cold enough for him. Maybe there was a heat wave.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad to see Sergei's back anyway. He still looks pretty good. Looks healthier than me anyway.
He does, even though he looks very red this time.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're lying in snow, that's what happens to you, really.
Mm-hmm. All right, cheers for that.
Okay.
All right, TikTok's done.
Cool. Okay, so we're on to our final section, current affairs.
So yeah, obviously I've gone back to Panda Guides. We had a bit of a revelation, didn't we, about Panda Guides? It's not really its own news thing. It's just like it's just a collection of news stories from. Now I've noticed after every news story, there's the source they got it.
Yeah, I only spotted that the other day. But to be honest with you, I bet you most news outlets are like that anyway. They're just
I mean, even if you read Yahoo, it's all from different newspapers.
Yeah, it is.
But it's still quite a nice way just to see it all in one.
Yeah, because I guess somebody is sitting there picking all the most morbid ones from around the country.
But I noticed some of them are sourced from the Sun, and they're all over the place.
Guardian,
and AFP. What's Associated Free Press?
Not sure.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Some of them are from Thailand. Some of them are from the Philippines. So but that's the good thing about them. At least they're not all just grabbing them from the Sun and the Mirror. They do go.
Yeah, so it's nice to see that. So but anyway, like I said, I try and keep it sort of balanced, like an international flavour. And to be honest, this week, mate, it was spoilt for choice. Like some weeks, I know it's like I don't really know which one to talk about. This week, there's like at least 6 or 7 stories probably mentioned. I mean, we got like I'm seeing like sharks with human faces. There's fucking naked festivals in Japan where like 100 men get naked and try and chase sticks around a bloody temple.
I think it's more than hundreds, isn't it?
I think this year it's 100 because
they kept it low.
But normally it's just it said the quote was, "It looks like a mass of writhing flesh." And it's like, sounds mental. There's like marriage ceremonies in Thailand where the guy was already married and the mother-in-law came running in and started slapping him around.
It was a feast of debauchery and
ridiculous. So there was also another guy that climbed up an electricity pylon.
Yeah, and started doing press-ups.
Started doing sit-ups at the top of it. And then I was like, there's so many. But I thought I'd go for one that was like, and there was like that. Did you see that? There was like a really fit bird who'd like shot a giraffe. Did you see that?
Yeah, for a birthday or a Valentine's present.
Now there's different ways to look at this hunting business. I can see it from both ways, but it's not that. It's not about whether hunting keeps animals going or keeps or provides work and that kind of thing. It's just what kind of person wants to go and shoot a giraffe?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not against hunting for if you're going to use the animal for food and stuff like that. I'm not.
Her quotes were kind of like, oh, you know, like it was Valentine's Day, and suddenly they called me and said there's a 17-year-old bull giraffe that you can shoot. I've been waiting for this moment. Who the fuck's sitting? Who's sitting at home?
Basically,
going,
she poses with the heart of the giraffe.
Yeah.
And she's like, "This is the best Valentine's gift I've ever been given." And you're like, to be honest with you, look, I'm all for. I think if you're in a country where you're able to hunt and you can hunt for food, but posing with the animal's heart is just kind of like, it's disrespectful, to be honest with you. Like, and they're not going to eat it. It's just a trophy kill. And I know then there's other people will say, yeah, but they're keeping resorts open in South Africa and places like that. But it's like,
well, like I said, the all the arguments for and against hunting. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't hunt. I'm just saying, like, if I knew someone whose dream it was to shoot a giraffe, I'd be sort of questioning.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because
weird,
I wouldn't like. There's a few animals there I wouldn't mind popping, like, but like a giraffe definitely doesn't spring to mind. Like,
it's weird. But anyway, I thought I'd settle on one that was from China, and I thought I'd introduce it because apparently it's the first time it's happened.
Oh.
And I've also got kind of mixed views on this. Anyway, I'd like to see what you think. Anyway, I'll try and explain the story. It's a man and a woman in Beijing were getting divorced.
Okay.
For whatever reason, don't know what it was.
Quite common.
Yeah, and again, I'll have to make sure I got all the facts right. But basically, the woman was a housewife.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen this. Go on.
So I guess she was not working. I don't want to assume the wrong facts, but I guess the husband was working and she wasn't.
Well, she's not working. She is working, but she's not getting paid. She does.
That's what I mean to say. No, I don't mean to say it.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that being a housewife is not. And when people get divorced, I totally agree that there should be a divorce settlement. A woman, it's not just like. It's not like the man can say...
It has to be reasonable.
It's not like the man can say, that's my money, you didn't earn it, now you've left with nothing. Of course, that's ridiculous. However, this woman, and apparently it's the first time it's ever happened, she got... it says she got... During the divorce, I'll quote it. During the divorce, she divided all the property, all the property that they had, all the sort of common property and all that. And then she got she asked for an extra payment and she got it of 50,000 yuan, which is about 5-6 grand in English money. And that was because she had done all the housework.
She's getting paid to continue to do the housework?
Yeah.
Or
it was just a one-off payment because he never did any of the housework. What do you think about that?
So,
apparently this has never happened. Go on, you have a go, and I'll see if I can find the actual sort of quote. But
my opinion on that is, if both of them were working,
let me add this. I'll add this first of all. They've only been married for 5 years.
Yeah, I don't.
They've been married for 5 years.
The time for me doesn't really matter. But what I will say is that if both, which is quite common in China, that both parents work, or not parents, but both people work.
Yeah.
And if both of them were working and she was doing all the graft in the house and he did fuck all, then I would say yes, she's more than entitled to get a bit of cash for that. However,
to me this kind of seems like
he was working and she was at home, then I would say no, because he would have been. That's what he was making the money. And you can switch these roles as well now before anybody starts calling me a sexist or whatever. You can switch it that if he was at home and doing the housework, I would come up with the same conclusion. So that would basically need to be clarified for me before I'd make an absolute judgment.
Well, my first thought was...
But if she's out grafting and doing the housework, then I do think she should get a bit extra.
It does say she was a full-time housewife.
So I assume she was doing it.
Yeah. Now, again, we have to remember that we don't know everything. Now, if there was a point where, maybe she wanted to go to work and the husband was, dead overbearing and was like, you're not working, blah, blah, blah. Maybe she didn't have a choice. But I'm saying, in that case, why can't the husband say, I don't understand it. Why can't he say, okay, if she gets, even £6,000 is such a fucking arbitrary amount.
It's not that much anyway.
Yeah, for 5 years' work, it's nothing, is it?
No, I would.
But I'm just saying, why can't he say, well, you never you never
Pulled,
went.
like,
and-
what
and
did you? Who was paying for the food
you
that
never-
went into
you
your
ne-
belly? Like,
or it's like, okay, I didn't do any of the housework, but you never went and did any work.
yeah.
So can't we just call that quits? Why does she get?
Yeah, so like I say, like
housewife
it's
labour
dependent on
compensation?
if she was a housewife and chose to be a housewife and like lived off the money that he brought in, then I would say like no, it's a bit rich, right? Because where did the food and the clothes and all the stuff come from while she was doing it? However, it like you say, if he was like forcing her not to work or something, then
Yeah, we don't know everything.
You kind of need
don't
to
know
know
everything.
the whole story to it.
We don't know everything, but I mean, I'll just say, it says here. It says the court besides dividing the couple's common property equally, which again I'm not totally against. I think sometimes it goes a bit mad when like. Anyway, I'm not against a divorce settlement, and I do obviously if a wife was. You can't just say you never went to work, you're not having anything. That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. However, it said they divided the common property equally, but they also ruled that she was legally divorced from her husband and that he had to pay this household labour compensation. Now, the thing is, it says that this case is probably the first ever in China where a woman has been awarded, along with half the property, has been awarded like a labour compensation, which is.
That smacks me
to me. That.
I think there's more to that story than meets the eye then, because in China, my understanding is that a lot of the divorce settlements end up going against the woman from the point of view that I think they're only entitled to half of the assets from when they were married.
Yeah.
So basically, if that chap had money before they were married and had properties before they were married, and he can prove that
she's not entitled,
she doesn't get jack shit from that. So
that I wouldn't say I agree with.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation, because again, like I mean, if there's some rich Chinese guy that met some gold digger, and it could be a woman, it could be vice versa. I'm not saying sexes or anything like that. And then all of a sudden they want to get divorced after a year, and they think they're entitled to his whole estate. That's wrong. But like I think the Chinese courts, from most of the things that I've heard from people with divorces, they are quite reasonable. So there must be more to that story than meets the eye, because they don't just like go, no, give her 50 grand or 50,000 RMB for no reason.
Maybe
basically.
you could, but it's also, if it's true, I mean, it seems like that's not a large amount of money.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to divorce, like breakups are not. That's kind of more like a moral victory or something. Like it's more like a token gesture of like, okay, I admit you did more than me or whatever. Here's that money. Yeah. I don't think the actual.
I think 50 grand is it's not going.
It's not a lot.
That's not going to be the biggest thing on his mind. Basically, 50 grand at the end of a divorce. I just wonder if it's like now. In a positive way, maybe I don't know. I don't know about divorce proceedings in this country. I don't really know how it works, but maybe it might like set a precedent. Maybe in the past, full-time housewives have been being fucked over.
Yeah, for sure.
But now you've got a legal precedent like this.
Yeah, and
they can look back at this and go.
And
this
will be used again, of course.
As long as it's used correctly, I think it could be a good thing for. Like I said, I know.
Because you could be right in the fact that she could have went to the court and said, "Look, I left my job to become a housewife, and I think I should be compensated for that."
Here's another,
which is fair enough as well.
Here's another thing. It does also say in this, it's not just full-time housekeeping; it's also taking care of the children. Now, what about if this guy is working? But what if he was doing like literally nothing to take care of the children? Now that would also be a little weird, for a dad, wouldn't it? To not.
But again, it is quite common here that a lot of because I see it even sometimes like people are, you actually look after your kids and blah blah blah, and they're like surprised at it. So not so much in the cities.
Maybe it's more like that. Maybe it's not like you're doing that work, I'm doing this work. Maybe it's also like. You never paid any attention to your fucking children. Now, I don't know what 50,000 does for that, but maybe it was just to say like.
I think it's a token gesture, like I think it's like a moral victory for her. Like she just, but again, I will say, from my experiences with the laws in China, and I know a guy that went to court, a foreign guy that went to court here in China, and I would assume that he would have got screwed over, right? He said he couldn't believe how fair they were because they were only dealing with facts.
Yeah.
And if you came with the person he was challenging, he did some business with him and the person screwed him over and blah, blah, blah. He thought because she's Chinese and he's Italian that he was going to get screwed, but he went anyway just to kind of piss her off. But she ended up getting fucked up because the court was like, yes, he paid you for a certain amount of this product. You did not deliver this product. So they were he couldn't believe it. They were so factual. They were like, she was like going, yeah, but he said that I was a bitch or something. This is irrelevant to me what he said. Yeah. He had a deal. I don't even think they had a contract. It was like a verbal agreement that he purchased a certain amount of this, but he could prove it because he had like, emails and text messages and blah, blah, blah. He could prove like, look, this is what we said. I paid her. She said she would deliver. Then she didn't deliver it. And this is why we're here today. So
if that's the case, if it is very fairly done, then perhaps they were like, this woman has not been treated fairly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My feeling is that she gave up her career to mind the child or the children or whatever. And that's what she went after. She wanted to be compensated for that, basically. That's my feeling. It's just speculation. Yeah. But I do know, contrary to the world's belief, that the court systems for civil stuff like that here in China is quite fair. Like it is quite reasonable.
I only thought it was interesting because it said it was like it's kind of the first time this has ever happened, and I thought that's quite significant that that's the first time that's ever happened. Really. Yeah. But anyway, so that was the other story. I thought we'd also dive into Hull again.
Revisit Hull.
I've only really got two stories from Hull. We won't spend too much time because I know I don't particularly want to get political on this podcast.
No,
there's enough people doing that shit. But one of them we could definitely get into like a political argument, and I reckon I might have a different opinion than you. But anyway, the other one's pretty horrific. So which one do you want first?
Let's keep it fairly.
All right, I'll give you the horrific one first. Then there was there's been mysteriously they found 3 severed cat paws in a street in Hull. No one knows what's happened to the cat. They just found 3 paws from
the same cat, or is it 3?
I guess the same colour.
Okay.
And unless there's some like fucking cat mafia going around, fucking shopping off different paws.
It must have been a quiet weekend.
That's the whole story. Okay. That is the whole story basically. The other one was again. It says it's in East Yorkshire in Howden, but apparently I'm sure people in Britain will have heard this because Piers Morgan's involved. But there's a headmaster for a school in Howden in East Yorkshire, which I guess is around Hull. I'm not sure where Howden is. And he's the headmaster of a school, and they have different houses, and the houses were named after people like Sir Walter Raleigh, Sir Francis Drake. There was another one that's escaping me right now. Horatio Nelson, and he and after a student wrote to him and said, these people were involved in the slave trade and colonial empire and that kind of thing. So the headmaster, she was a former student, and she wrote to the headmaster, and the headmaster's now changed the names of the houses. He's changed the names of the houses. I can't remember all of them. Get this: one house is called Thunberg House after Greta Thunberg, and another one's called Rashford House after Marcus Rashford from Man United. Now the kids chose these names as these were people that were more. They're more relatable to them.
They fit the modern day narrative.
There were some other things. There were some other names as well. I can't remember all of them. But Piers Morgan's well involved. He's called him the headmaster's quite young and he's got tattoos and he's called him old tattoo boy. And said he's super woke headmaster. I said, I don't want to spend too long on this.
Piers Morgan's a bit of a twat.
But this was the other story from the whole newspaper that I read, basically. And it must be big in Britain because Morgan's involved. So I'm sure everyone's heard about it. What do you think about that quickly?
I get where the principle's coming from, to be honest with you, but because in today's society, I'm sure if we dig deep enough,
I think we had this conversation before when they were taking down statues in Bristol and London and stuff.
I don't think we had it on the podcast. We might have had it in private, but Yeah, look, I think again it goes back to look. I agree with like if I think it's different in the States where you have statues of people from the Civil War that would have been on one side, and then you have black people walking past that every day, kind of looking at it, going, "Meh." But when it comes to if we start like look, I'm pretty sure that if we look into everybody from that period of time, they would have done something that we wouldn't agree with today. Like Winston Churchill and all these guys, like he basically got Britain through the World War II.
I think Morgan,
but he was a rampant racist and like.
I think Morgan mentioned Winston Churchill, like is he next kind of thing.
No, but like he hated the Irish, and blah blah blah. Yeah. But like. But still, I don't think you should take down statues of Winston Churchill because, again, it goes back to those were the times. It was a different time. Not saying it's right or wrong, but those were the times. Whitewashing history is basically what the Nazis tried to do when they started burning all the books and blah, blah, blah. You have to learn from your fucking mistakes. You can't learn from your mistakes if you start whitewashing the stuff. Now, some of it shouldn't be in public display. I agree with that. Some of the statues belong in a museum, maybe, and shouldn't be out in the street or something like that. But I don't think we should just go and destroy it all. Like I think that's silly.
These weren't statues. These were the names of houses at the school. That's all.
Yeah.
So my opinion on this, and again, I'm always open to change and changing ideas. But my opinion on this is like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? But if none of the parents care, all the kids voted for these things. Why not change the names? Yeah, if you want to change the names, I don't care. I don't care.
Walter Raleigh was a cunt anyway. So.
It doesn't like. It's not like I said. I know people say whatever. Like Morgan might be saying like you're taking away all these people that were sort of
did good things for the country,
part of the fabric of the country, and that's why the country's developed as it has, and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day. You're not erasing it from history. You're just taking him down from a school in Howden. Why does he give such a fuck?
Because that's the way the world has gone. Like,
you still know who they are. Yeah. They're still in the history books. You can still learn about them. If the kids want to change it and it's their school, I'm like, fuck it, change it, man.
The bigger deal to me really is that kind of stuff makes the news. Like, there's no reason for that to make the news. It's they're using that now just for.
So, I mean, why does Piers Morgan care?
It's clickbait. Like, they just want you to, look, they're doing it again, and one side says this and one side says that. It's just like, whatever. Like,
yeah, if you like you were saying, if you're talking about like, erasing people from history and like ripping out chapters of history books, then of course not. But you want to change the name of a fucking schoolhouse?
For me, if what they claim back in the West that they're such a free country, why don't they have a vote on it? The whole faculty of the school or whatever gets together and all the students get together, they vote on it and the vote wins and they either stay or don't stay. Yeah. And that's the way it should be like.
All right, anyway, like I said, we won't bang on about this too much. But that was what's going on in Hull, and it must be big international news, I think. It's probably, we're probably going to come, it's probably going to be a bit late, and it's probably going to all be over, we'll all blown over by the time our podcast comes out. But anyway, that was current affairs.
Yeah.
This week.
Cool.
Cheers.
Okay, so that's number 9 in the bag.
Had fun this week.
That was a nice one.
We nearly got political, but we tried to rate
a little bit. Well,
that was Hull news, so
we sit in the
that's a shout out to you, Joe. We're going to delve into Hull every week. I mean, we couldn't spend 15 minutes talking about severed cat paws.
No.
So we had to.
I was glad that we moved away from that fairly fast.
I had to find something else to talk about. And as I said, anything Piers Morgan's got his bloody aura.
He's a muppet. He's a muppet. I sit on the fence on most things, but that guy is a fucking moron. He's just a media stooge, isn't he? He just he says what he wants to say. Blah, blah, blah.
I think he just wakes up in the morning and goes, "Oh, I could definitely be offended by this."
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. And he, to be fair to him, he's doing a very good living doing it.
Yeah, yes, fair play to him.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a fun request, though. We're now on the massive figure of 28 subscribers. So I was thinking to make. So we were kind of tossing up having 28. We didn't think we'd have 10 by this stage, but that's not bad. Bad.
I think that's amazing if you think about it.
Yeah, it's
the fact that 28 people are listening to us. I think it's amazing.
subscribed. I think we have a
thanks.
few more listeners. Thanks for that. But I'd love to hit the 30 mark, right?
Yeah.
And to force us into that a little bit.
We're giving away a prize.
Maybe not a prize, but we've been toying with the idea of a guest. So let's do it this way. We'll have our first guest, because there's a few people volunteered to be guests already.
All right.
We'll have our first guest once we hit 30 subscribers.
Okay, yeah.
I think that it's only 2 more, right? So if you're out there and you're one of the people that said that you want to be a guest on the show, go and find one mate that's going to subscribe to the channel, and then we'll have you on.
And when the mate subscribes, that mate should put in a comment going, it's almost like a...
Ask him this question.
When you have a free offer and you have to give like a serial number so they know what magazine it came from.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you subscribe, say who
made you subscribe.
Turned you on to it.
Exactly. And then we'll have that person on.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
It mightn't work,
better than
but
a prize.
it's better.
Well, the prize is...
The prize is you get to talk to Jay and Finn.
Yeah. Prize is obvious. All right.
World fame.
All right. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Good night.
Cool. Good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.